How's it going, folks? T-Biz again. Yes, we've got a new Masterverse figure from the Masters of the Universe Revelation upcoming Netflix series. I've got Moss Man, so that's pretty cool. I realized something tonight. I don't have a vintage Moss Man. I thought I did, and I don't. So someday I'm going to have to hunt one down, because I had one when I was a kid. Don't have it anymore. Let's not get into that story. If you know me, then you know why. But, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I remember the original Moss Man was purchased, I think, at Walmart in Round Rock, which was the closest Walmart within, because we didn't have one in Georgetown yet. And I live in Texas, by the way. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, he was purchased at Walmart, and he smelled like the weird kind of, the car deodorizer, or whatever you want to call it, the air freshener or whatever, smelled just like that. And, yeah, just that stinky, stanky evergreen smell. And yeah, now we got a new version of Moss Man for the new upcoming cartoon, which should be pretty cool. Let's take a look at the back pic. It's pretty rad art, man. Yeah, here's a look at the other figures in the line, which I'm yet to get. But hopefully, maybe within the next week or two, I'll get these two, the Skeletor and Evil Lyn. But let's go ahead and read his bio real quick. Moss Man, heroic spy and master of camouflage. Once believed to be nothing more than a legend, the mythical Praetorian plant creature Moss Man is wise beyond his million years. Oh, wow. So he's a million years old now. Weird. That's interesting. That sounds kind of new. His powers of great strength, plant control, and shape-shifting into any form of plant life make him an invaluable ally to He-Man in the fight against Skeletor as a protector of Castle Grayskull's secrets. Moss Man's sagely advice helps guide his friend He-Man to the right path. So there you go in the back. That's looks like Beast Man and Skeletor. There's a cool little dragonfly. Interesting, flying about. So that's cool. Yeah. But I do. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and open this guy up and check him out. But before we get to that, I just noticed the packaging, man. I didn't really look at this before, but if you look, you can see some different emblems. Like you can kind of like see the goat skull or whatever, the Havoc staff, and you can, I think those are like the Horde wings, maybe. I can't tell. It look like bat wings or something. Maybe like the Sorceress's emblem right there with the like kind of like a bird motif. You see all these different kind of iconic designs within the top. Maybe I think that might be the Power Sword right there. I can't tell. I could be right, I could be wrong. But yeah, it's kind of neat. And once again, to nerd out, these figures have 30 points of articulation. Here he is standing right next to his Classics counterpart, which some people argue that Classics are the best. I would say aesthetically, they're pretty cool. They're one of the best, but not the best, because they have limitations. This isn't all about like a Classics review or anything like that, but the Classics are pretty limited as far as posability. There's certain things you can do with them, and there's certain things you can't do with them. But they're all sculpted by the Four Horsemen, which I think Moss Man was sculpted by the Four Horsemen, which my buddy Overlord Productions pointed that out. Big shout out to him. And yeah, so people are poo-pooing on these figures right now, and the comic too, because I got a lot of negative feedback on the comic book review. And they're just, people are up in arms about King Grayskull being a black dude and not a white dude. And who cares? I should be mad that there's not more Latino guys in Masters of the Universe. I should be pissed. But I'm not, because it's not a big deal to me. I don't care. I don't really care. And another thing, too, is that, yeah, well, it would there's Brave Star and there's Black Star. So there's your kind of Latino-looking guys in that kind of like Filmation lore. But anyways, regardless, I'm going to shut the hell up and we're going to check this figure out, man. He looks pretty cool to me so far. I like the fact that he kind of looks like Swamp Thing. That's a big plus for me. I'm going to have to just check out all his jointy joints. He's got a cool little leaf sticking off out here to the side. I like his look. He kind of looks like a Yeti. Kind of like a Beast Man. Kind of like a Yeti. Kind of a Bigfoot or whatever. Got the double elbows. Got the hinge and swivel on the grabby hand. It's all green and mossy. There you go with the waist twist. Not so much on the, I guess the diaphragm, I guess you'd say. Kind of, I don't know. They got some work to do on these figures. They're not bad. Although, some people would say, I don't know. You're going to get a lot of negative stuff on these figures. But they're not quite Marvel Legends, but they're not made by Hasbro. So, it's another thing too. Okay, you got all that, but interesting. Just looks like yeah, you're not gonna get, I guess maybe not like quite the rocker thing going with the feet. So I could see why people would be upset with that. But man, why don't you just, if you're gonna, I don't know, people get so upset, why don't you just pay somebody to dress up like Moss Man and just pose for you in the house or whatever. Here's his little weapon thingy. I guess he's not coming with his club like the Classics one and the Vintage one did, but he does have a cool hand effect, which is pretty cool. So that's why it kind of reminds me of Swamp Thing. He's got this viney thing like coming out of his hand that you can attach. Let's do that real quick. You see, and I imagine this is pretty heavy. So yeah, it's a pretty heavy effect. But probably what you want to do is have him facing off with the baddie or something. And if you position him so, yeah, it works. So you can use it like that, you know. Like say he's fighting Skelegod or something like that. Or let's see. Try to, Skelegod, this figure, I swear, I tell you. Oh my God. It's a cool looking figure, but not the best figure ever. To tell you the truth. Like, let's see if we can. Yeah, so you can be just grabbing a sword. Woo! Yep, there you go, Skelegod. Get the hell out of here. But yeah, that's not a bad little effect piece, dude, or just weapon or whatever you want to call it. That's cool. It works. If you position them right, it works. A couple 4 other hands. More like kind of reachy, grabby hands from both sides. And another one that's kind of like a, look at that detail. It's not bad. All leafy and stuff, which is pretty cool. Because this one is more or less, all right, stand there. Yeah, it's kind of leafy, but this one, the detail on this is more leafy, so that's kind of cool. Go ahead and give him one of those hands just for show and tell. There you go. Not a bad figure. Of course, I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to be happy. I think in this day and age, just people are finding more and more reasons to be unhappy about things, especially action figures. And especially action figures that were just, you know, rebooted properties that were just a kid's cartoon, a kid's comic book, and a kid's toy. So now you got guys my age or older, which I'm 45 years old, in an uproar about, you know, new Kevin Smith He-Man stuff coming out. And I'm keeping an open mind. We're going to check it out. I think 2000X stuff was probably more like just a little bit more well received than this new one coming up. And yeah, the 2000X figures were a little awkward. They're a little different, a little weird. But so were these. So it's not too much different, to be honest with you. Check out some more of the detail. This is going to be like, I think this is the figure that I was like, yeah, dude, I want to get me a Moss Man, check him out and stuff. Of course, he's not flocked. He's not all flocked up, but I can live with that. It's not bad. Yeah, the feet could have had like the little rocker pivot thing or whatever the hell you want to call it, but you can still get him to stand, so that works. It's not really all that bad. And imagine if you want to just put that effect in this hand too, you can do that if you want to. But I like him, man. I like him. He's cool. Will we ever get like an exclusive flock version? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. Who knows? But I'm interested to check out more of these figures. I need to get some bad guys so I can have them pose together and fight. And where's good old He-Man? Oh, here's good old He-Man. And there's certain things that, like with these figures, like I said, you could do that you can't do with the classics. And that, my friends, right here is the big difference with the classics. You can't get that kind of, like, you can't get them to crouch down and spread their legs like that, like you can with the Masterverse figures. You just can't do that with the classics. They look awesome, they're rad, but they have their limits. Even the origins, I would say, are better than the classics. I mean, because like we can go back to an old story for when I first started collecting the classics and stuff, and I went to my folks' house and showed my dad my classics figures, and I'm like, yeah, I remember, blah blah, and they're like, yeah, of course, because a lot of birthdays and Christmases were all He-Man related, and just not even that, I just always got He-Man stuff. So even when I was a little kid. And my dad was like, I don't like these. I think the old ones you had are a lot cooler looking than the classics versions and stuff. Sorry, He-Man. But yeah. And I was like, wow, even my dad, like, at his time, probably in his early 60s or late 50s at that time, I think, was like, yeah, I was like, wow, so he thinks those are cooler. I was like, that's interesting. Very interesting. Anyways, that's our look at Moss Man. He's not bad. I like him. I can't necessarily say my mind is freaking blown by this figure, but I like the way he looks. I like the fact that he looks like a Yeti or whatever, like a Bigfoot. I think that's cool. There's a lot of detail to check out on this figure, even with his feet. Got holes for pegs for stands, and yeah, even some sculpting right there at the bottom, so that's pretty cool. I think the thing is just to get him posed outside and take some pictures with him, something like that. Too bad we didn't get any weapons with them. That would have been cool. But if you've got let me see. I'll do that real quick. It's kind of generic, but oh well. Yeah, so you could give him a classics weapon if you want. Looks like, yeah. Let's see. We can do that real quick. Oh my God. There you go. So yeah, you can do that if you want. There you have your club. That's if you have that figure, but yeah. So can't hold weapons. Will we see weapons packs? I don't know. That would be kind of interesting. We haven't seen weapon packs with the Origins, but I think we should, and I think they should do that for these too. I don't think it would hurt. But anyways, that's my look at Moss Man. Love or hate him, I don't care. I've got him. I like him. He's gonna hang out with me and the rest of my Motu crew because, hey, I love me some Motu. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. And yeah, if you like it, fine. If not, cry about it. But if you are going to cry about it in the comment section, don't be a dick, because I will delete your comment. Because especially if I wake up in the morning and I see just a total dickhead comment, I will delete it because I'm just grumpy in the mornings. I'm really grumpy. I got to go to work. And last thing I want to hear is just some dude just being negative. Especially dude my age. I really don't want to hear it. So I'm sorry. I should be more diplomatic, but hey, that's just life. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all, and have a good one. All right, later.